Hello. somebody who probably owns their own home as opposed to renting an apartment. If you're interested in this little bundle of love, contact the Capital District Humane Association. Their phone number, 518-664-3450. Go to their website, fill out an application in advance, and set up a meet and greet. And that's Pet Connection for today.
Closed captioning sponsored by Albany Med. Capitalize your career at albanymedcareers.com.
Shop the Veterans Day event at Old Brick. Find your style and find prices that are 10 to 30% less than anywhere else.
An hour.
An hour, but then there's the meeting. You know, that's the
Richard Bader
question and answer stuff.
25% off clearance items. Get a beautiful 5-piece dining set, only $9.99. Or a gorgeous sofa, now only $7.99. Shop the Veterans Day event at Old Brick.
Life should be easy, effortless.
It's a
Filled with the
coaster.
things that matter to you. So should your Medicare plan.
Ugh.
This annual enrollment, Highmark Blue Shield will help you find the right plan for you and your life. Highmark plans start at just $0 per month for medical, drug, and even dental coverage. Not to mention our Freedom Basic PPO plan that puts $50 back into your Social Security check each month. And most importantly, an easier
Should I call him
experience from
again?
your search to selection to enrollment in a new Highmark plan.
You can.
Starts with our Benefits at a Glance brochure, your guide to Highmark Medicare plans. Call the number on your screen to get yours. From there, our Highmark benefit consultants are standing by to make things even easier.
He's the one doing the class,
I don't know.
or is it big like that because it's
I
highlighted?
have no idea.
Because life.
Huh, must be his
Highmark
brother.
Blue Shield of
Buck
Northeastern New
Bader.
York. So what are you bringing for Thanksgiving dinner this year?
Famous banana pudding.
My huge
Start
person.
video.
It's pretty famous too.
Participants, 5 participants.
0.9% APR
Oh,
financing for 48
we're
months
on the
2021
5, huh?
Ford Mustang Mach-E models. Shop our huge selection and value your trade at usecars.com.
Oh,
Credit is our
moving
specialty.
down.
Apply for financing at albanyfinance.com with no social security number required. Shop, click, use.
Is that
Do I hear a voice?
No.
MVP Healthcare are
Yes.
committed to keeping children warm this winter with coats for kids. This poster and drop off.
So this is a class.
It's the meeting like when we used to go on
But
Tuesday
I thought
nights.
the meeting was at 7.
Yeah, but this is. That must.
Yeah. I think so, maybe.
Need to mute that.
I don't know. Well,
Okay, looks like we have a few people joining us via Zoom online, so that's good. I'm going to minimize this. I can't do that. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, hello everyone. How is everyone doing tonight? Okay, this is the open forum Q&A session. So, does anyone have any questions they would like to ask? And for those on Zoom, is everyone, can everyone see the screen that we have up, which is just my blank screen? Turn your mic on so that you can respond.
See
Okay.
palm trees.
Hello?
I can see a beach, palm trees.
There you go, that's good. I just wanted to make sure that Zoom was coming in. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're now open for questions. Yes,
Good evening.
how are you tonight?
I'm fine. This is my first time here,
Welcome.
and I have called and left a message on the answering machine, and they answered me back. I have some Commodore equipment, 64 and 128, and also some Gateway that is up for whoever would like to have it. So if that person is here, if they could get with me and we could.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Okay. And your name again?
My name is Lucille.
Lucille has some Commodore 64 and some Gateway equipment that is kind of ancient history. But for those historians in the audience and anyone who is a tinkerer, that might be just ideal for you. So if you'd like to have any of that, please see Lucille later. Do you have a question?
I think Lydia called her back. You might check.
Okay.
Did
Lydia's
Lydia
not
call you
here.
back?
Yes, she did, and I missed the phone call.
Okay.
Okay, so anyone here who has a desire to have that kind of equipment, please see Lucille. And that's great that you're willing to share that. I have some ancient stuff too, but I just have to clean my garage. Yes?
What do we know about
Windows 11 is now being distributed. My computer keeps telling me that it's available and do I want to install it, and I'm waiting a little while. There are some really good things that I've seen on Windows 11. There are also some cautions, especially if you have an older system. Some computers with the specs that they have identified today as being requirements would not qualify for having it installed. However, there are some workarounds that are being developed by third parties everywhere that should enable us to have Windows 11. I am planning on having a comparison of Windows 10 and Windows 11 for our January session. And if you can wait until then to kind of get the in-depth, I found a very good video online and I wanted to share that, but I wanted to share it in little bites because like every 1 or 2 minute segment identifies something and then we could go online and actually show the difference here. And I think that's what we need to do is not just talk about it, but actually be able to show it. Another thing is that some of the people who have installed 11 are getting, great results and are really excited about what they have. There are others that really want to fall back because their system may be a little restrained, may not really be up to spec. Even though it says it would take it, they aren't happy with the performance. but I think they're improving performance on that almost daily. And the last video that I saw, they were actually talking about some of the things that have just been updated and revised in the last few days. One of the things I think that's exciting about Windows 11.
The only important thing is, very important, if you get the notification and you're going to download it, make sure you've got all your Windows 10 updates in there. Otherwise, you could have problems.
And if you update it and you want to revert back, you have 10 days to do that and get back to where your system was. Now, anything that you've done between day 1 and day 10 could be lost. Just be cautious of that also. But you do have a revision, a backward path to that. The comment that I was going to make is that Android is now available on Windows 11. Currently, it runs through the Amazon App Store, and so it's very limited. But they're just yesterday, I think, yesterday or the day before, they opened up for Google Play Store. And again, it's not the complete store. It's just like on your TV. If you have an Android TV, it's only like Android movies. Well, this is more than that. This is the Play Store, but not everything is there and available to you just yet. And it's kind of like running an emulation program where it's not as speedy as it needs to be. But this has been in beta for a couple of months, and they just released another level of the beta that says, okay, we're going to put this out to the public and see if it's going to fly. So I think I'd wait a little bit, but in another month or two, it should be mature enough to start downloading and putting on to customer systems. Anybody else? Yes.
I have a Windows 10 machine that I want to freeze in time. It's all configured and set up. I just want to be able to plug in like a solid state drive, back it up, and then have it so that if anything happens to the machine or I want to get back to where it was today, I can just plug it in and restore an image or something like that. What would be the best software and freeware that I can use?
Okay, well, one thing that you could do, you could take a snapshot of that Windows system at any point in time using Macular Reflect or EaseUS. Each one of those can take an image of your system. Now, is your current drive an SSD or an HDD? You know, is it a hard drive or is it solid state?
Right now, I don't know.
So you're talking about replacing?
I think it's a regular hard drive. It's not a solid state.
Okay. Do you plan on keeping this computer for a long time?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to freeze it.
Okay.
So that, because I don't want to upgrade to Windows 11 or anything like that. I just want to keep it as is.
Well, you can keep the system going and under Windows 10 for the next 5 years without any worry, because they've said that they will support Windows 10 through 2026. So if that's your concern, then all you need to do is just make a monthly image backup, and then you can always return to the state it was when the last backup was made, whether that was a week ago or a month ago or 6 months ago.
Just using the native.
Just using the native tools.
All right.
Yeah. Now, if you're going to keep the machine for a long time and your machine is reasonably performing, if you like the way it performs, then it is a good idea to upgrade to a solid state drive. You'll find that it will boot very fast as opposed to taking a minute or 2 or 5. It'll take 5 or 10 seconds. So that's one very good upgrade that you can make, and it's not that expensive. Do you know what your hard drive capacity is now?
It's not really that important. I'm using it for a dedicated machine.
Okay, well, and you're dedicating it for what purpose?
It's a pinball machine.
Pinball?
Yeah, it's a virtual pinball machine. So it's got a PC in it,
Okay,
and it's got two monitors, one access your table, and the other access the backboard. And you got the flippers and all that nonsense.
okay,
But it was made by a guy in Miami, and I just want to freeze it so that, because he's got it as a turnkey system. Turn it on, it boots up into the pinball game, but you can also go into the operating system and mess with the tables and all that stuff. But I
okay.
want to freeze it
Yeah.
just the way it is so that I can always get it back to the way the day I got it.
Okay, well, you can always do that by doing what I said, just take a backup image as of that particular day, and, if that's your biggest concern or your only concern, then you can label that backup, pinball backup, and give it a date. And that way you always know that that's the one you took as your pinball snapshot. Now, is the pinball application disk intensive, or is it just use memory?
I haven't played with it long enough yet. I just got it.
Okay.
So, first thing I'm doing is freezing it in time, and then I'm gonna start tweaking it. And that's-
Okay.
In case I screw something up, I can go back.
Right,
Put it-
and that's always a good idea. And if you have the disk that it came with, or it's a downloaded software, one thing that I always do when I get any new software is I copy that software from whatever source it is, whether it's an online source or it's a disk drive, or excuse me, a CD, DVD, whatever. I copy that into a folder that I've labeled software downloads. And then under that, I have a folder for each application that I've downloaded.
Right.
In that folder, I put the executable and any other literature documents that may have come with it. I put that in there, and then anytime I want to move to a new machine with that same software, even though if that software is 10 or 15 years old, all I have to do is rerun that executive. And that's all I have to do. So,
Yeah, this is a open source downloadable freeware. So,
then save that. You can save that into a folder, unique, so you can find it again, and you could reinstall it at any point. The reason I was asking you whether it was disk intensive, if it's disk intensive, then what I said before about getting an SSD might make sense. If it's not disk intensive, then for the purpose of this particular computer, that makes no difference. Using a hard drive or using an SSD makes absolutely no difference. So, but if you're going to use it as a general purpose computer also, then an SSD might be reasonable for you.
it's just dedicated.
Okay, and once you have all your settings the way you want, and you've played around with it for a month or two, and you're satisfied that you like those particular settings that weren't native, make another backup, call it pinball and whatever, and say with settings. Okay. Anybody else? Somebody has to have a question.
You're gonna do stuff, you're gonna be doing your Saturday stuff.
I am going to be doing the training sessions right now. I have some conflicts with Saturdays. Let's see. The first Saturday, what is the first Saturday? Okay, the first Saturday is the Veterans Day Parade. So because of the Veterans Day Parade, I'm going to be working that, and most of the office staff and a lot of the members are going to be participating in the parade. And anyone here who would like to join us in the parade, where's Donna? She's still out there? Well, I think Donna is getting a truck for us to put computer onto and for people, or at least people onto. And we'll have a banner on the side of this vehicle and to show the computer club. In addition, we're going to have a table like this with a computer system similar to what you see tonight, which is for our drawing. We'll have that on one end of the table, and we'll have membership forms available for anyone who wants to sign up. And we'll have some other general literature for people to tell them where we meet, where the office is, and so forth. I don't know that we have anything else related to that. Ron, you've participated in this parade before. You want to tell them just a little bit about it?
2 years ago, I had the privilege of being driving the Grand Marshal in the parade. It was General Dick Carr, many of you may know him. He was instrumental in getting the Vietnam Wall set up here. He started the grassroots program that got that thing moving. And Dick's a personal friend of mine, but I was the chauffeur for that parade. The bad thing about being in a parade, you don't get to see the parade. So we had about, it was 2 years ago. I think it was canceled last year because of COVID. But 2 years ago, there was probably 100 floats, cars, vans, and so forth. It's a real nice turnout. It starts at the high school, goes down Taylor Street north, to the old courthouse in Punta Gorda, and then they separate there. Our stand will be at the Wells Fargo Bank, which is 1 block south of the old courthouse on Taylor Street. That's where we'll be set up. But it's a good show. A lot of veterans, and certainly we appreciate your support.
I'm gonna have our tea and
Well, thank you.
crumpets.
Anybody else with some questions? Oh, wait a minute. No, you had a question. I haven't answered the whole thing yet. Okay, this Saturday, I won't be, the 6th, I won't be able to, and the next Saturday, the 3rd Saturday, I've been doing an educational Zoom class the 1st and 3rd Saturdays of each month. Right now, the Saturdays are a little awkward, and several people have asked that we move it to a different day, and I'm trying to identify that day that I can do it on a consistent basis. We had talked about Wednesdays. Unfortunately, my husband has a standing doctor's appointment on Wednesdays right now because of a fall that he took 4 months ago. And he's still going to the wound clinic to have it dressed and everything. And we have other, doctor's appointments and so forth that I have been kind of out of pocket for a while on that. I'm hoping to get back on this. Probably I'll be setting something consistent by the 1st of the year. But until then, if anyone has a question or would like me to do a special Zoom session on a particular topic, contact me and maybe we can schedule a one-on-one, or we can schedule an in-home visit, or an in-office visit, or we can do some other way to get you to a point where you understand what you need to know.
First, see how we do.
Short term, and then we can put it on the agenda for a larger class at a later time.
Mhm.
For you?
You're doing us a favor.
I'm sorry?
You're doing us a favor.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I put a lot of work into them, and it's supposed to be more of a Q&A forum also. However, I tend to have a little more structure to it, having something prepared to talk about, so that we're not sitting there with dead air, because on Zoom, a lot of people are hesitant to ask, but other people reach out a little bit more easily because it's on Zoom, because they're not in a big audience of people. There may be 10 or 12 or 15 people, and they just raise their hand, ask a question, and another person bounces off and asks a question about something else that was indicated in the first question. So it works pretty well. And Bob's been coming to the classes for quite a while. So thank you very much, Bob. Anybody else? Yes.
It's not really for the computer club, but I've been seeing a different name for the Military Heritage Museum. The American.
I don't believe so. That may be for something else. The Military Heritage Museum has not changed its name and is not intending to my knowledge. And Dennis is here on site someplace. He should be able to answer that question. But I was in a meeting with Gary Butler, the executive director of Military Heritage Museum, the other day on Sunday, and he certainly did mention that. And he, keeps referring to it as Military Heritage Museum. I think part of the confusion is that many people just say the Military Museum or the Heritage Museum, and they don't put the whole name out. So, yeah, I don't think there's been a name change. Certainly on their website, it hasn't changed. Really? Well, they may be talking about a different museum too. It might be, or it might be an affiliation that the Military Heritage Museum is partnering with another museum that is more nationwide or regional. I can't answer the question. Yes.
And it doesn't have, it doesn't have DVD, CD player.
Okay. Okay, her question is, she has a Lenovo laptop. It does not have a DVD player, CD player, writer, whatever. And can she do anything about that? Yes. You can purchase one on Amazon, or you can go up to Best Buy and get one that plugs into the USB drive. I do that sometimes. Now, when you do that, sometimes it'll have 2 plugs and sometimes 1 plug. If it has 2 plugs and requires 2 USB ports, then I don't know whether your laptop has 2 ports. And you have to make sure they're adjacent. Because I have a Lenovo also, but it has one on one side and one on the other side. That won't work. Get one that has only one. If you do need a device, okay, if it has 2 plugs, the little wall warts that you get with every cell phone and tablet and so forth, and it has a USB plug in it. Plug the other in the power port portion of that 2-prong port, the connector, into that and plug that into the wall, and then the other one into your laptop.
Okay, specifically for yes, right? It's not like just a regular.
Some of them are both, but some of them have speakers and everything with them. Others are just a reader and writer for a computer. And if it is, for just a computer, then your speakers in your computer would be what would blast everything up. I have one at home, and I don't know whether it has an auxiliary port in the back for external speakers or not. I've never used it that way. The only thing I've done is to use it to copy CDs, DVDs to my computer. I haven't done it to copy anything out to it.
But this is specifically for a computer, not for CD, right?
Yes, what I'm talking about, but okay. You can, if you go up to Best Buy, they would be the ones to ask. I'm sure that they can find a solution for you. And it may be in them like the TV section or whatever. But there's another way to do that. if you copy anything from the DVD drive onto a USB drive, then you can probably plug it into the USB port on your computer and use whatever media center player they have embedded in that computer, in that TV. Now, I've done that on another TV that was older, that I plugged in a Roku box to, and then plugged it into the USB port on the Roku box. If you have like a Fire Stick, you can't do it directly unless you have the big Fire TV box, but there's another adapter that you can get that is a, wait a minute, it's the, it's USB, it's something to go. What's the name of it? Somebody help me.
Tonight, the NFL star.
No. It's a device. It's an electronic device, and it'll have multiple connections. You can go out from, you can put your HDMI connector in one port, and you can put your you can put your power in another, and then you can add your USB drive to the link, and everything's good.
And the words of wisdom she shared with so many people now in one place.
I would go to Best Buy, and if it's specific to the TV and you want to use it kind of like, well, it's kind of like the Blu-ray player. So if that's what you're looking for, that might be your right solution. But if you're going to be
Using to get to here at home, and we begin tonight with that late vote today from that key CDC panel on Pfizer's vaccine for children 5 to 11. That panel voting unanimously in favor of the vaccine, the first COVID vaccine for about 28 million children in this age group. CDC director.
I have taken.
Each shot about 1/3 the adults.
At the computer club and copied them on to different things.
You collect all that.
Where's Lydia? Lydia is responsible. Okay, Lydia is responsible for the repair department and the equipment department, and she can help you out there. Let's see, what was? Yeah, check with Lydia. She would probably, but if you have, do you have a specific request, something?
That was for her, like.
Okay.
For the club, and I don't know if you have a whole box of extra stuff.
Well, if you, okay, if she wanted to come in to the computer office and wanted to, because she doesn't have the equipment at home, she brought her computer in, we could loan her the other device to copy from there. I'm not going to give you authority to do a checkout without Lydia saying, since she's the one who runs that department.
Yeah, I have no idea how the club works. I
Okay.
can imagine.
Well,
Like in my
come
house-
into the club.
In my house, I have boxes and boxes of stuff that I find at thrift
Mhm.
stores, me and him collect it.
Okay. Well, come into the computer office. We're located at 514 East Gray Street. And that's bounded by, well, let's see, Taylor and Carmelita and Cooper and a bunch of other places. There are about 1,000 different roads that all come together around that office. But anyway, and you want us to park on Ann Street. So the back of the building, there's the parking lot. If you tried to park in the front of the building, you'd be parking in the grass and then have to walk around to the back. So I don't know why we don't have any addresses. Ann Street, but we don't. Yes.
I was gonna say, if he has that much stuff put away, he might want to donate some to the club.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, the thing is, if you bring that into the club office, we can sit there and help you sort through it and determine what can be used and what can't be used, or what is not functional today. And if there's anything that's not functional and you just want to salvage it, we could take that and put it as part of our salvage donation thing. If you have usable devices, but you don't know how to use them, we can show you how to use them. That was very good comment. Thank you very much. Yeah, one of the things we do as a club is we take your old computers that you're no longer using and we, that you want to donate to us, and we evaluate it, we'll refurbish what we can, we'll salvage what we can. But if we can recover anything from that, well, we'll recover all your data for you and give that to you. But we'll make sure that everything is wiped clean, that no trace of your identity or whatever is still on there. But we refurbish it and then we donate that computer to needy school children, veterans, other people in the community that just can't afford a computer and want one. We can provide one for free if they have certain documentation. So we do check to make sure that they qualify for that. If anyone here as a member wants a computer like what we have here, and a complete system, if you're willing to make a financial donation of say $50 or whatever you want, you can have a system like this tomorrow. Come into the office and tell us you need one and give us a donation and we'll set you up with a new computer. This computer that's being donated tonight, we've added speakers to it. There's a plug for the speakers on the thing because we didn't have enough outlets for it. But we have the computer, the monitor, keyboard, and mouse, and that typically is what we have as our donations to the third party, or if you would want to purchase one. If you're in need of a new monitor and you don't need a whole computer, we have an abundance of monitors available in the office, and you can pick one up for free, or you can also give a small donation. So think about that. Okay, anyone else have a question, comment? What time is it? Okay, we have about 10 more minutes. 10, 15 more minutes to go before we need to break off.
Sure.
Yes.
One question. Backing up my computer, fine with could I plug in USB drives or
The question is, okay, he's backing up his his computer using Mac Reflex. I would definitely plug that drive in to your computer before you make the backup. Otherwise, where's the backup going? If it's going onto your computer, you're not making a proper backup.
that's not the point. Backing up is stuff. But I have 2 or 3 USB thumb drives that I can plug in
Oh,
to save information. Do I want to put all those plug in before?
if you want a full backup of everything, then sure, you could do that. Or if you wanted, you could just make an individual backup of each of those individual drives onto a second Mac backup, or to just another location on your computer. What I would probably do is I would copy those into individual folders on the computer and identify them by their location. This one is movies, this one is pictures, this one is contracts, whatever they are. Identify that, put them onto your computer, back up the whole thing, then or port them over, copy them, then remove them, and then make your backup of everything. And if you wanted to have a separate backup of just those USB drives and get that off of your main computer, you can make another backup just of of those folders. You don't have to make a backup of the entire system each time. I often do a backup of specific folders onto a separate USB drive. Because those are the files that are important to me. Maybe a lot of other things are on there and maybe I should get rid of them, but I don't necessarily need to have them removed right away. So I'll port those over to a USB drive and maybe I'll take that, like Rose brought her presentation and I on a USB drive. We port it on and we can go ahead, but it doesn't have to live here forever. We don't want it to. Another thing you can do is you can back all of that up to the cloud. You can put it in Google Cloud, you can put it in Microsoft Cloud, you can put it in Amazon's cloud, you can put it in a number of different cloud sites. And there is a location online, I think it's called Multi-Cloud. And it will give you an opportunity to save things to different clouds from that one application. It's an online application, so try that too. Okay, Lydia, we had a question from the audience asking about the ability to come into the office and use some of the equipment to do some backups. We had someone who doesn't have a DVD or CD burner, and would it be possible for her to bring CDs in and copy those from using our equipment onto her computer? She could download them to her computer without our help or with our help.
Right, I want the DVD burner out.
Okay, so if you want to borrow that, see Lydia, you can check it out and you may take it home and return it whenever she says to return it. Okay? There's another benefit to our membership. Yes.
Do you offer specific training for popular software?
If you have a request for training on a particular kind of software, we'll find someone in our organization that can help you out. I know I try a lot of different applications, and sometimes I find one that is pretty exciting, so I will put a class together related to that particular software. We did one here for one of our programs a year ago about what is it called? Let me see if I can find it. It's a video recorder software. Let's see. And it is OpenShot. OpenShot is a wonderful program, and I used it to take a 10-hour MP4 video and trim it down to about 3 minutes of a loop. And I just took certain segments of this 10-hour video and made an underwater scene that could float behind my Zoom. It was my Zoom background for a while. So yeah, we will take specialized software and investigate it. If it's something we have to purchase, I don't think so. But if it's something that that is open source or that we can have access to, or if it's on your machine and you want to show us what you're doing with it and we can help you out, sometimes we can help you use applications that we've never used before just because it is similar to something else that we may have some knowledge about. So we can help you that way. Does that help you?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have any hardware for calibration?
I don't think so. He's asking about he's asking about calibration of monitors. Do we have any equipment for calibration of monitors? No, I wouldn't think so. Maybe a TV store. That's not, or TV repair place might be able to do that. Or PC repair place. We are more in tune with, updating computers, making sure that they're virus free, that that we get rid of all, background traces that are snooping on you. Not the good cookies, but the bad cookies, because they're both. But no, we don't have any specialized equipment, like oscillators and all that kind of stuff. No. Anyone else? Yes.
Any recommendation on like antivirus software with Windows Defender?
I would stick with Windows Defender. If you try to put another antivirus onto your computer, Defender is going to turn off, or it's going to fight back and forth. So you only want one antivirus program. You can have 10 anti-spyware programs. The anti-spyware programs that we recommend are Super Anti-Spyware and Malwarebytes. We also recommend Wise Disk Cleaner. What I do is when I run my checks, I usually run Super Anti-Spyware first. I run Malwarebytes second, and then I run Wise Disk Cleaner. And the last one gets rid of traces that the others do not find. Super Anti-Spyware finds an awful lot. Malwarebytes, if you have something serious on your computer, it's going to find something, but I have not noticed it. I've only had one thing that has shown up on my system in the last year for Malwarebytes. From Wise Disk Cleaner, even after getting rid of hundreds of PUPs, potentially unwanted programs, Wise Disk Cleaner will also find thousands more little traces of things. And it might be bits and bytes of programs that have been deleted or files that have been deleted that aren't cleaned up. But it will find those kinds of things. So those are the three that we pick up most of the time. Now, in addition, this kind of talks back to how we get some of the software. One of the things we've been recommending for years is a website called Ninite. And if you're not familiar with that, Ninite has a listing of different groupings of software, and you can select the ones that you want to download. And the big plus by using Ninite is that it will not bring forward any extra toolbars or other advertising things, or try to install on top of Windows Defender, McAfee or Norton or whatever, and then defeat the purpose of having Windows Defender on board. So we like that. Recently, I've been using a program called Patch My PC, and this is very similar to Ninite, but it has many more applications available to it. And if you check the ones off that you want, it will first thing it does is it scans your computer for the programs that it actually has on board that you've already downloaded. And it goes out and says, okay, do I have an update for this? And it will show you, oh, I found 5 programs online and 3 of them need to be updated. And then you can also go and check more and you say, oh, well, I want to add these 10 or 12 more. And it says, okay, now I have 17 things, and I have 3 to update and 12 more to install. And it'll go out there and it'll install all these different things. And if any one of those things that you want to install has another requirement that has not been fulfilled, like a DLL, a direct link library that it hasn't found on your system, but it needs, or an SQL file, or whatever that it needs, it will ask you if you want to install that, and you have to give permission for that. But it's very thorough, it's very good. You can also install some software that is out of date, that hasn't been updated in a number of years, but is still available. And it may be maybe not your only source of that information, that software, but maybe your best source of that software. And like I said, it will not bring forward extra toolbars and any malware or anything like that. So check out that, Patch My PC. When we build a new computer or we refurbish a computer, or you bring one in for repair, we will often ask you, do you want us to do this? And we automatically install LibreOffice, which is an open office program for any computer that we build, like this one. We automatically put on the Super NS spyware, Malwarebytes, and Macrium, and Wise Disk Cleaner. So all those things are already embedded in the software when you get the computer. Any questions? Okay, we're out of time. So thank you. We've had a little bit of a break. Come back in how many minutes? 5, 10? Okay, come back in 5 minutes. We'll see you then. Oh, my butt hurts. Oh, I've got a ridge in my butt. It hurts.
It's going the wrong way.
Yeah.
You not turn your camera on?
Oh, no, I don't. Yeah, I didn't set me up.
Oh, okay.
Well, hang on a second. Start. Wait a minute. Did I have
She's
to
off.
start
This
the
is just
video?
people talking now, waiting for the next meeting now.
You gotta tell me this.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have.
Well, now we got, there
I
she is.
apologize.
Here's the person that's supposed to talking.
Okay, and I've got the virtual background on, so I apologize. My fault. You should have told me earlier. If you see that, tell me right away so I can get it started.
What we need for is for the next one. You know,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we weren't doing anything with the screen. But
But-
this screen.
Well, if we weren't recording video, we
That's
weren't
right.
recording audio. So let's make sure we're recording. I don't see anything that
That's
says
got
we're
the-
recording.
World.
Yeah, it's recording. There it is.
Oh.
So it's been recording.
Oh, okay,
It's been recording.
okay.
Okay.
But it hasn't
It just
been-
didn't have my
It's
image.
not your, it's not.
Not
your
my
video.
head. Okay. Hi, everyone. Okay. I'm gonna go get some water or something.
Yeah. Maybe it does. Yeah, because you're the instructor on.
Yeah, I have instructor on, but it was showing just that
Oh.
computer image.
It's here you have the white screen.
I'm sharing a screen,
Oh, okay,
so that's. all
okay,
I really
because
want.
you're sharing the screen, it doesn't show up. You take off the sharing screen, the video comes on.
No, because I didn't have my background on, but that's okay.
Well,
That's okay. Okay.
oh, it's been interesting.
I guess I'll go brush my teeth. I probably won't stay on for this whole thing. Just want to start it.
What was the agenda, you know?
What?
What was the agenda?
I don't know. That's your phone. That.
That's 5 now. That's 9 now. That's nothing. If you like that one down.
Great kids. Look at it, keep going. Wow, Lydia, you got enough keys there, girlfriend? What? I said you got enough keys there? Yeah. Oh, my. No more. Crazy. Yeah, these are just the ones I carry. My car keys. All right, I can get you two girls. Oh. What, I don't think that.
Well, we did it when Dick was doing it. You could see one another. Remember we saw Jack? He could see us. Oh, this should have started 7 o'clock. We got there.
Like this has client information, but here, oh, I'm not provided because I'm on with you.
What's this?
Call from Karen earlier.
Oh.
You're watching a Zoom. A Zoom class.
I never did hear a very, very.
I am going to be from there.
Is there a specific mic we should use? The red one? George needs a mic.
Okay.
I think we're ready to start. And as we start, as we start every program, we're going to start with pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome everybody to our November meeting. Do we have any new members here today? Ken, want to introduce yourself?
My name is Julio Menendez. I just joined last week. I've been in the computer field for most of my life, but I've gotten most of it from.
Well, come into the office and help us out.
Just a reminder, we are looking for volunteers.
I did volunteer.
Okay. Who else?
My name is local here for 20 years. I love computers.
What took you so long?
Welcome back.
Anyone?
Oh. I just moved here from Maine, Carsonville, Maine. And as far as computers go, I may know how to turn it on.
You sound like my husband. Sometimes he doesn't know how to do that.
We have a lot of beginners classes. If you go to our website and then into the calendar, there's a list every month. Be sure to check them out.
There's one next Monday.
Yes, there's
coming tomorrow, or 2 days from now.
If you have a request for a meeting, send us an email on the, our email address, and we'll look to provide that education for you. So we're open to suggestions.
And Mary?
My name is Burns, I'm Charlie's wife, and I've been volunteering with the group, so I really enjoy.
Good to have you.
And for everybody, but especially new people, if you're running into problems and need help, be sure to call us and let us know. And we can give you some advice, or you can come in and we can discuss what problems you have. And there's a possibility we can solve it.
I have a check engine light on my car.
Take a piece of black paper, just put it over.
Go to Walt's Garage. He does a wonderful job. He's over there on Ann Street, and he does a great job. So if you have any automotive problems, see him.
Any guess? Any guess tonight?
It looks like all the guests have joined. That's good. Woo-hoo.
Okay, we have a few announcements. I don't know if anyone heard on the news today that the cultural club is closing November 8th. Cultural Center. And
as the brainchild, they're not really sure what they're gonna be doing with it. I know a lot of people, has gone past to the, cultural center, and they're going to be having, some county meetings about it. Grover, you have a little information on that?
On the 13th, you can go to the county site, and it will tell you, that on the 26th, it'll be coming in front of the commissioners. I'm asking that our members go to that meeting and express how they feel, knowing how we were treated by the cultural center. Hopefully, the county commissioners will not finance it with the 300,000 that they're asking for wages and bills and stuff they need to pay, and it'll be put underneath Parks and Recs. And if it is, I think we have a real good chance of getting the space back in there, if that's what we would want to be.
Yes. The cultural center said that they needed our space for more retail outlets. And I think they were overreaching. They thought there was a bigger marketplace in the county, but they forgot that we and about 4 or 5 other organizations were bringing in that traffic to the retail outlets they had. So they were a little short-sighted in their expectations of what they could do. But we were told they needed it for retail space. Anybody have any other comments about?
Short-sighted.
Yeah.
We got COVID money from the federal government. What better place to use some?
There you go.
Why not put it under Parks and Recs and let the county operate it properly?
That's right.
Anybody else have any comments about the cultural center they want to share with the group? That was good. Yes.
One of the reasons why my wife and I moved to Fort Charlotte was because of the cultural center.
Yeah, it was, lots of people depended on it, and I don't know.
Also because of the nature of the red tide, we see. They closed down the cultural center. They moved down in Englewood, the farmers market. So, oh my God.
Now, okay, they will,
At least you don't have snow.
That's right. That's right.
yeah, we don't have to have the snow shovels, but the cultural, what, other things that are on that property, the Charlotte County Library will remain there. The theater will remain there.
Now, you don't know about the theaters.
The theater's not? Okay, I was told it was. Okay, I don't know what's happening with the theater. That is a big loss.
It's part of it. It's not lost. It just means.
Well,
they
it's in
might
limbo at
not
the moment.
rehire the 5013C corporation that has been running it for years. That's all it means.
Okay.
Let them decide what the county commissioners want to do.
Use the mic, because the rest of the audience can't hear you.
As I understand it,
Hold the mic up so people
as I
can.
understand, oh, Jesus. As I understand it, there's a 5013C corporation that runs the inside of the cultural center. The county owns that building. That building was given to them by, I believe it was General Development or GE or somebody way back in the 60s. And it's going to remain for senior citizens, whether the county operates it or whether this 5013C operates it. And obviously, somebody's got some problem with the way it's been run in the last couple of years anyway. I've been working for the computer group for 20 years, and we spent a lot of years in that building, way back before Hurricane Charlie. So something's not right.
Okay,
And
thank
we'll
you.
figure it out.
Yes.
I just hope everybody can be there.
It's a great idea. Yeah, the more power we can show, and the more interest we show in what's happening with it, the better that we'll be able to be heard.
For your guys' information, not, I think last year or year before, I checked into it. The gentleman that was running it, Steve Carter, was making as much money as the lady that was running Parks and Recs for the whole county. And they're broke. I wonder why. Twin Golly, West County, and South County are similar to what that is. Parks and Recs run it, and the one down at the harbor, they run that center also. They run very smoothly, very accurately, and they're not going broke.
Okay, any more comments? One more comment.
I think it may be a blessing that the cultural, that the computer club hold what it did. Because otherwise it'd be doing it today.
I don't understand.
The computer club was already moved.
The computer club moved and they asked several other groups to move also. And then they couldn't find the retail vendors to put in those slots that they wanted to fill with vendors. Yes. I have no idea. Nothing that was there before. They're closing down the center. So, I mean, there were people in there playing cards all the time. There were people, the music, yeah, the music, center, whatever it was. Nobody's in there. So everything's gone. Go ahead.
Let's go on to the favorites.
Okay.
Okay, this month's favorite is a program called PDF Escape. A lot of people who find out about, they get emails with PDFs on it. Now they're told to fill it out and send it back. And they're wondering, how do I fill out the PDF and then send it back? PDF Escape is wonderful.
I don't know why I'm not doing this.
Wonderful solution to find it.
Now, if you go to our website,
Oh, good.
hold on a second. You go to our website and you go across to membership application and you click on that, you are going to get this file. And what Grover's going to talk about is completing this file in a program called PDF Escape.
Turn that lamp on, please.
Let me bring that up.
Yeah.
Okay, on the site PDF Escape,
What you do is go to PDF Escape. It's on our website under the members special. This pops up. You take any PDF and drop it right in that little square.
in this case, I'm taking the membership form that we just downloaded. I downloaded it earlier. It will come up and it will give you this page. And now you can start filling this in.
You can fill those out and save it, print it, or send it to the people you want to respond it to. Be sure to give it a little try. I think you'll really enjoy it. It'll save a lot of time, effort, and probably a few trees.
Now, another thing is I created one about a year ago for another organization. Let me pull that one up. So in addition to being able to print this out or excuse me, fill it in online and then start pull in any PDF and do that, you can also create one that has fillable links. So this one, if I want to, I can click inside this box and I can start filling this out and then save it under a new name and email that or copy it and,
Here, can you hold this?
and send a check in, whatever I want to do with it. So this is a fillable form.
Yeah.
And this is, like I said, I made this out for a different organization, but as you can see, you can get rather complex. I have check boxes.
I need this plugged in to that strip back here.
For people that aren't local,
You know how
I
to do
have,
that?
whether they're full-time or they're here just from one
I
day
need
to
plug
another,
it
what their
into
other
the strip.
address
You
is.
see the little, no, the strip, there's the strip. This is the monitor.
Actually, yes, and this one was on the free. One caution. I made the mistake of downloading the desktop version. The desktop version I found much more complex.
I don't know what it is.
And it was awkward to use, and it didn't save the document as I anticipated. So I found the free version, so I got rid of it. I found the free version was much more robust, and that's counterintuitive. Usually that's not the case. But in this particular case, I would recommend using the online version, not the desktop version. You can download and use the desktop version for free, but when I was coming in here tonight to
Not what I want.
introduce this, I went to the site and it wanted me to sign in and wouldn't let me go any further. So I backed out, went back and just selected the free. So there are two different levels. If you can sign in and you pay for it and do all that, but you don't need to.
I handed you the mouse. Oh,
I mean, well,
there we go.
Rose Coconut is gonna be.
Huh?
Oh, we also have, an announcement that we're going to be in the Punta Gorda Veterans Parade.
The Elks. Punta Gorda Elks.
Parade on Saturday. This Saturday, it starts at 10 o'clock.
We're gonna be staging earlier. We need to be there around 9 o'clock. The parade itself actually begins at 10 o'clock, but if people aren't in their assigned spaces by 9 o'clock, where there's never going to be a start at 10. So if you'd like to volunteer, please come on in, see one of us afterward, and we'll give you the all you need to know about that. Do you know what slot we're in?
We're in slot 19.
We're in 19,
And
okay, which means
we're looking for a car, van, or truck to be in the parade.
closed van's not gonna do us much good.
Yeah.
I would say an open car or a whole lot of people walking, and I don't think too many of us are gonna wanna walk that far. So
We're allowed one vehicle,
yeah,
so we need a vehicle, a driver for that vehicle.
And we love to have some veterans in the vehicle. If some veterans would like that doing the parade, please stop by our office and we can set something up.
Or see us tonight.
Or
Yeah.
tonight.
and if you decide after you've left here tonight that you want to do it, at least email the office and say that you want to volunteer and ask for information to be sent back to you as to where you need to come to volunteer. We're also going to have a table and tent at the Wells Fargo office that's between West Virginia and
It's on the corner of Taylor and Virginia.
West Virginia.
Well, whatever.
Taylor and West Virginia. And so we'll just have a tent there and we'll have other things set up and membership applications and a computer set up. It won't run because we're not gonna have any power there, but we'll have at least something to show people, or we'll have a placard that shows a picture of it.
If you know anyone that'd be interested in the club or have questions about the club, we're gonna be at the booth from probably 9 o'clock till 1 o'clock.
We have to be set up by 8.
Yeah, we're gonna set up.
So if you'd like to help us come and set up a tent, be at Wells Fargo at about 8. And then we could get transportation for whoever needed to go to begin the parade, if they wanted to leave there and not walk down that distance. I'm gonna be at the table. I'm gonna be at the tent.
There are 4 of us at the tent.
Okay.
George.
Yeah. Okay, we have the volunteer one. It's for Ted Boyman. He had another commitment, not able to make it tonight, and he's gonna be stopping off at the office to pick it up. He was very helpful when we did our big move in February, and he's planning on being a volunteer on a regular basis. Yeah. Okay, and now I'm gonna introduce Rose, who's gonna be talking about membership.
You want this one, or you want to talk about membership first?
This one's fine. Hand it over to.
Okay.
Okay. If you could put up my first screen.
That's the one that you told me to take down.
This one, presentation. and nominees.
Yeah,
Yes.
I got it.
Put that up.
Sure.
Please. Thank you. Okay, at the last meeting in October, I had said that today I would be presenting the nominees who are running for our board of directors. In early December, the election of the club's board of directors for 2022 will occur. The new board administrates the club and its work after being sworn in on January 4. Nominations are open until Friday, November 19, at which time the official ballot will be prepared for election, which will take place here on December 7 from 6 to 7 p.m. Only registered voters, only registered members will be able to vote. My nomination committee for this year is Donna Whalen and Rafaela Rosansky. Rafaela is sitting back there. Before I introduce the nominees to you, allow me to give you a little bit of background information. And this excerpt comes from our bylaws and says, I quote, "The elected officials of the corporation shall be a president, a vice president, a secretary, a treasurer, and 5 directors. These elected officials shall perform the duties prescribed by the bylaws." And you can find that listed in this month's newsletter, which was posted, I believe, either late Sunday or yesterday. And the term of office for the board of directors is for 1 year, beginning at the meeting immediately following the election. Term of office becomes effective starting in January. Highlights from our website and what the board of directors uses as their background for taking us forward into the future
This comes from our website. In that CCCGC is a 501c3 nonprofit volunteer organization founded in 1984 and dedicated to promoting computer literacy by providing a non-technical environment for learning, sharing knowledge, and refurbishing donated computers made available at no cost for school children, veterans, and other nonprofit organizations. The group is committed to the community through Computers for Education program, providing computer systems to children through our guidance counselors and recommendations at the school, community education and nonprofit organizations. By joining the club, it brings you into contact with years of experience and background, represented by lively and vigorous membership. That's you, via programs and classes. The official club publication, called the Charlotte Bites, is mailed monthly, including vital info and news, and is posted on our website. As the club moves forward and hopefully grows in membership, let me introduce you now to the current nominees, effective as of today, for specific positions. The nominees will be presented for each specific position in alphabetical order. And for the officers, I will invite Donna Whalen from the committee to come up and present the officer nominees.
Good evening, members. This is a great turnout tonight. Thank you for coming. Very important night. I'm going to introduce you to the officers, the 4 positions for officer. Nominees, as I call your name, would you please stand up a moment or raise your hand and let everyone see who you are, please. Running for president, Mary Fleener. Mary has 30 years experience in the design and implementation of business and infrastructure applications in industries ranging from agriculture to aerospace. As a member of CCCGC, she joined the board as director last year and is currently serving as vice president. Mary conducts regular training sessions via Zoom on various technology subjects, provides in-office and in-home technical support to resolve members' computer issues, and installs updates and upgrades and refurbishes computers for donation to the school children. Vets and disadvantaged families. In other community activities, Mary is very active in STVM, which is the Science, Technology, Engineering Program, education to middle and high school students through AAUW, that's the American Association of University Women, and its partnership with Charlotte County Schools and the Military Heritage Museum. She has served on the quasi-judicial building board, reporting to Punta Gorda City Council to resolve community issues with building contractors. Also running for president is Grover Mudd. Grover Mudd has been with the Charlotte County Computer Group for 12 years. He has worked in the office for 11 years, having been an office manager for 10 years. Grover also worked in recycling and membership health. He is past president for 4 years, from 2016 to 2020, and was awarded a lifetime membership award. Grover, there you are. Nominees for Vice President, Mark Kreider. Mark holds a bachelor's degree in computer science, and a master's degree in leadership from Franklin Pierce College. He is a 6-year Navy submarine veteran with 35 years of experience in the commercial nuclear industry. Mark started as a power plant operator and holds both an NRC reactor operator license and senior reactor operator certification. He also held various positions ranging from operations instructor to supervisor in the training department. Mark accumulated 25 years of experience in the nuclear power plant simulation field at Vermont Yankee in Brattleboro, Vermont, as simulator supervisor and specialist. He retired from Energy Nuclear Corporation in 2015 and is a senior emergency planner. Mark is over there. Also running for vice president is Harold Nixon. We do not have a photo or bio available. Running for secretary is Rose Mechanic. Rose holds a bachelor's in management and a master's in systematic theology. Her professional work experience was in education and administration, holding various positions including marketing, teacher, administrative assistant, director, coordinator, administrator, and technical advisor for the School Sisters of Notre Dame, Archdiocese of Milwaukee, Benedictine monks, and Sacred Heart Seminary School of Theology. Prior to retirement, she served as registrar, assistant dean, and director of continuing education. Rose had been an active member of various national and state educational organizations, such as American Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers, Wisconsin Division and Catholic Division, Learning Resources Network, and Society for the Advancement of Continuing Education in Ministry in Milwaukee Area Catholic Institutions of Higher Education and National Association of Church Personnel Administrators. Rose currently serves on the board in member health and teaching classes, editor of the Bites, and coordinator of the scholarship program. Rose. Ronald Musham. Ron is the current secretary and is seeking re-election. Ron has been a member of the Computer Club for 11 years, served on the board of directors for 7 of those years, and as an officer for 4 years. Ron's over there. Running for treasurer. Lydia Rist. Lydia has been a member since 2001 and held an alternating office of secretary for a total of 9 years, vice president for 1 year, and director for about 8 years. Lydia would now like to become treasurer. Over the years, Lydia was instrumental in developing the refurbishing and recycling department, and currently oversees that area. There's Lydia. And Sandy Todd, also running for treasurer. Sandy Todd's professional life was spent as an accountant with 35 years experience. From general accounting, she then moved to medical auditing. Her business experience was primarily in management and moved to owning her own business before retiring to sunny Florida. For the past year, she has served CCCGC on the board of directors as treasurer, while continuing as a volunteer at the office front desk, primarily on Fridays and sometimes as a substitute. Sandy?
And now we will introduce the nominees for directors, at which time you will be voting for 5 directors. Our first nominee is Debbie Kreider. Debbie grew up in Maryland. She attended Salisbury State University, Keene State for her Master's of Education, and Northeastern University for a Doctorate of Education. She was a psychotherapist for over a dozen years, then transitioned to management. She worked at Southern NH Hospital Medical Center, overseeing medical practices, then spent 13 years as COO at Granite State Independent Living. She has been volunteering in her community since age 6. Currently, she volunteers at Bayfront Healthcare and Executive Director of Punta Gorda Isles Civic Association. Debbie could not be with us this evening. Next nominee for director position is Sherry Lenora. Sherry has a BA in education, majoring in English and speech, theater and debate from the University of Northern. As a secondary school educator, she taught in both private and public schools. Her experience included teaching AP, gifted and talented and at-risk students in Texas, Iowa, Oklahoma, and New Mexico, where she had a self-contained classroom for violent juvenile offenders. Sherry was twice recognized as a National Endowment for the Humanities Chautauqua Scholar for her work. As a strong proponent for volunteerism, Sherry has served as a board of director and president of a county community theater, parent-teacher organizations, a county arts and humanities organization, and was appointed to her county excise board by her state representative in Oklahoma. She has served as the education director and government liaison for the PGICA and currently is a member of Mayor Lynn Matthews Advisory Group and the president of Smart Growth Punta Gorda. This is Sherry. Another nominee for director is Maureen Rand. Maureen Rand notes that volunteering was always part of her free time. Since her husband's career involved moving the family 10 times within 8 states, after getting settled, Maureen found areas to volunteer where needed. Her past 10 years of working were as a case manager and aging specialist. When moving here in 2001, Maureen became active and on the board of a newly started newcomers club at PGICA. After it had reached the maximum occupancy of the old building, she helped form the Floridians, a social club. The pandemic forced Maureen to take stock and reevaluate where shall I volunteer and be involved for learning, as well as sharing my talents. And she chose CCCGC. This is Maureen. Another director nominee is Fran Robitaille. Fran Robitaille has been a member of CCCGC for 4 years. His activities in the office have been as a volunteer tech, helping members with computer problems, as well as updating machines for donation. Fran has served as a director for this year, 2021, and looks forward to serving again if elected. Fran will support the club as well as the elected officers to the best of his ability. Fran is out of state at the moment.
I think he's on Zoom.
Is he on Zoom?
I'm pretty sure he is, but. I don't see him.
Hello, Fran.
He's talking and saying hi.
Okay, thank you. Our next director nominee is Gary Skillahorn. Gary Skillahorn holds a BE degree in electrical engineering from Ohio State and an MSSM in systems management from USC. His 35-year federal government career specializing in aviation includes 20 years with the Department of Defense and 15 years with FAA. Post-government employment includes private industry consulting activities, domestic and international. Retirement activities in Punta Gorda include boating, fishing, ham radio, and aircraft flying at PGD. His volunteer participation has included president of the board of the Punta Gorda Isles Civic Association and president of PGIC Fishing Club. He closely follows the activities of the Punta Gorda City and Charlotte County governments. This is Gary. And our final director nominee is Helga Weichelbaum. Helga, I know, is on Zoom. I saw her picture before. Helga began her life in Florida as a snowbird before moving here full-time in 2012 from Detroit, Michigan. Earning a BSME from Lawrence Technical University in Southfield, Michigan. Her professional life included positions as a mechanical engineer and project engineer at General Motors Corporation in Detroit. At the GM Argonautic division, Helga was facilities engineer and in-house architect, working on new office and assembly building design and engineering, as well as refurbishing and redesigning old GM facilities. In the 70s, GM purchased the Applicon computer graphics system, where Helga became instrumental in learning how to use it. Helga was always involved in the arts, studied the organ, and still owns the piano. Currently involved in the visual arts, watercolor, acrylics, and oil painting are her real love in retirement, and has been a member of the Visual Arts Center in Punta Gorda for the past 10 years. She has attended many classes and earned several awards. This is Helga. Helga. Those are the official nominees that I have received to this date. And now I ask, are there any additional nominations from the floor for any of these positions? Are there any additional nominations from the floor? Are there any additional nominations from the floor? As I said earlier, the nomination process is open until Friday, November 8 and 19. Please use the official nomination form found in this month's bites, or pick one up at the office. Should you be so moved to nominate yourself for any of the positions, Or if you want to nominate someone else, please get their permission first. Once nominations are closed, the committee will prepare the official ballot for voting day, which is Tuesday, December 7th, from 6 to 7 p.m. here at the Military Heritage Museum. When you come to vote, you will come in as you did today. There will be a table out there verifying your membership. Once that is verified, you will be handed a ballot. You will come in here to vote. And then, once you are done voting, you can go out to, I don't know if you noticed, a little porch area out there where we will be having some interaction with everybody, chit chat, get to know one another, and hopefully some treats. Okay, with that, my official nomination process, yes, sir?
Absentee voting. You're not able to-
No, you must be here to vote. That is according to our bylaws, yes.
Is there an elimination of all or primary at this time?
Is, say that again?
Is there a primary?
Oh, there are, okay. On the ballot, you will vote for one president, one vice president, one secretary, one treasurer, and 5 directors. And on the ballot, it says that, or it will say that. Okay, with that, we will move to our fun part of the raffles of the evening. And for that, for everyone who was a member, is a member, I mean, you should have gotten a red ticket. And where is my helper? Rafaela? Rafaela. Raffle time.
Oh, yeah. While we're waiting for that, I want to let everyone know that the office at 514 East Gray Street will be closed on November 11th, the official Veterans Day. So please note that the office will not be open on November 11th. Thank you. You can still email the office though. Or I can. Here. We have 3. So we have 3. Oh, yes.
Oh, sure. You have me one that's not working.
You have to push it.
There it
I
is.
turned it off.
Okay.
We got 4 gift cards, Winn-Dixie, and
Okay, for the red ticket.
Oh, yeah. 4.
We tonight have 4 gift cards, 2 gift cards, $25 gift cards from Walmart, and 2 $25 gift cards from Winn-Dixie. So good luck, get your red ticket out, and here we go. Eight, 7. Come on down.
No, go up. Here. You want me to run it?
Oh, would you, Mary?
Yeah, I can run it. I need the exercise.
Must have put the batteries in this, eh? Oh, you need the microphone for these. Oh, and we have pot, you can pull this.
One.
Okay, we have Walmart or Winn-Dixie, which would you prefer? Okay, would you pull the next number, please?
Mary, we need your name, Mary.
Oh, I'm sorry. Microphone, you get to introduce yourself. Tell us who you are so we can have a photo.
My name is Monica Dyer. Okay, congratulations, Monica, and you chose the Winn-Dixie. So if you would smile for the camera there. Thank you.
Thank you.
And did Monica choose the next one?
I wouldn't have to walk more. Okay. Let's see, I can actually read it. Let's see. 859. Okay.
Yeah, front.
Okay, which one would you want? You want a Walmart card?
King of, just a second. And your name, sir? Alan Baskin. And Alan, would you mind? Yes, so we can get your picture without the mask?
Yeah. Come on, we know who you are.
Great, thank you.
Baskin, B-A-S-C-I-N.
Okay. The next number is 892. Okay. Do you want Winn-Dixie or Walmart? Okay, you choose Marston? Last number is 852.
We didn't get the name.
Oh, speaker name.
Ed Tazik. TKACIK.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, last ticket number 852.
Here.
You get a Winn-Dixie card.
And your name, sir?
And I gave that to you.
Yes.
All right, then we have the 50-50.
You may introduce yourself and she's going to take it.
And we need a picture. And for those who didn't get the name, it's George Copeland.
No, first one.
Okay, then we have the 50-50. Mary, did you pick a 50? We have $20.
Okay, the winner of the 50-50, blue card, blue ticket, 4419.
All right.
And you have $120.
Who said?
Oh, Sandy.
Sandy, yeah.
Wait a minute, back here. You have to fan it out, so it looks like. There you go, now I'll take a picture. Nobody else claimed it.
Okay, and then we have at the very last raffle, we have the computer. And we don't have a lot of options in here, which could be dangerous for George and me. But
We need a bigger container for this kind of thing.
or fold them over or something.
Do something. Okay.
Oh, put the glasses on.
Yeah, I have to use my glasses then. John Francis Coley.
All right, right up there.
Okay, very good.
Okay, John, we will,
You come down later and you can take this home.
yes, okay.
You want to tell me about the computer?
And something else. Okay, if you want to talk to any of the nominees, we are wearing name tags with little stars on them. And the majority of them in the first row here, as you leave, feel free to talk with them, and then George has ending comment.
Just want to thank you all for coming. And don't forget, our December meeting is the voting meeting. Make sure you come and vote. First Tuesday in December. And it'll be taking place right here. Voting starts at 6 o'clock, between 6 and 7. And you're welcome to bring a little treat to share, and all the treats will have to be hand folded, finger folded, and they will all be out on video.
Nothing that needs utensils.
Finger food only.
Yep.
And thank you all for coming.
Did you say plant food?
No,
Pet
finger.
food,
Finger food.
finger food.
Okay, they're gonna have meat or cheese or whatever in them, as long as they don't leak.
As long as we don't need silverware.
And you don't need any utensils
Has
to
to
eat.
be finger food.
The utensils are your fingers and your teeth.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, and have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Send me the other.
I think he turned it up.
Nope, you didn't.
Go run to the bathroom and I'll be back to take the mics up. so
Oh,
we can-
okay, okay. I'll let you do that then. Very good. It's a big one. I guess we can end the meeting now, right?
Out of the motorhome, traded it in for a parking lot.
Anybody out there want to, oh,
Parking lot, 500 square foot. Play this down here, I gotta go to the bathroom.
okay.
I'll be back.
Anybody on Zoom want to ask a question or comment before we say goodbye? Oh, no, okay. So goodbye, everyone. We're saying goodnight.
Hey, can you bring up our website for a second? I wanna
Sure.
See if
Oh, you're meeting, wait a minute.